What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Aaron and I own GTFO Detailing. If you guys are new here, this is part 2 of the trailer build series. Make sure you go check out part 1. But in part 1, we painted the floor, we picked up the trailer, but you guys didn't see any of this stuff get put in here yet. Don't mind my lunch sitting over here, but you guys only saw us paint the floor and pick up the trailer, basically. You guys didn't see really anything else. Since then, I've got wood everywhere because I went and bought a bunch of wood because unfortunately this is an awkward size. The sheets of wood come in 8-foot long by 4-foot wide. Well, sheets of OSB and most plywood, and then 2x4s I got in 10-foot sections, and I got quite a bit of it just to have some extras left over. So this is my little scrap pile over here. This is a scrap pile. I have one last cut to make on here, which is this line here, and that will make the top section of this wall. But we've got this section in. So what I did since last video, I put a brace around the water tank. It goes all the way around. It's a big square. It's all screwed together, and then I've got 3 screws on each side holding it to the floor. That way the water tank can't shift. And then I got a 2x4 up on the side, on each side, running vertically. That way we could screw in our OSB to it, as well as screw in this brace. So this sheet of OSB right here, I have screwed in to the sides, the bottom, where the brace is for the water tank, and then I made another brace to go in the middle. That way, when we take this sheet, we can put it directly on top of here, screw it into here, screw it in the sides, and then I'm gonna make another brace to go across the top to screw into there. And I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm also gonna do a brace to run vertically in the center. That way, because if you look at this, this has some flex to it, and this is where my hose reels are gonna be mounted, is up here, and I don't really want it flexing, so I haven't quite decided if I'm gonna brace it yet, but I guess we will see. So I'm gonna take you guys around to the side door and show you the inside of the trailer. So I did have to work out of the trailer yesterday. I only worked one day this week, and then I'm working again this Saturday because my wife is working this week. We swap shifts so we can watch my daughter. And I had to take Friday off because we're going to look at a house. So I got my generator in here, the water tank, blower, extension cord reel, step stool, canopy. I just used the compressor that I picked up. I used the box to put all my chemicals and everything in. I've got my extra vacuum attachments, my rags, extractor, and then I just set all my chemicals up on top of the water tank, and it actually worked very well. So these are all my mainly used products, and then these are just my extras that I have. But I did work out of this yesterday, and I have to say, since I started this channel, if you guys have been following from the beginning, I started working out of the bed of my truck. I had the water tank in my bed, and I had all my chemicals, rags, and everything in my back seat. I had the generator and pressure washer in the bed of the truck, and that was miserable, but I made it work. I saved up some money, was buying nicer products, buying nicer chemicals, and then I borrowed the little trailer that I had from my parents to get everything out of my back seat, basically. So then I could put the water tank, generator, pressure washer, and all the big stuff on the trailer. All the chemicals and rags went in the bed of my truck, and that was still a pain. I had my most used products at the very front that I used all the time, but whenever I needed something extra, I had to flip up my bed cover, climb in the back of the truck to get those products, and it was a pain in the butt. And I know it all comes down to the quality of work that you do, but it did not look professional. But I had customers when I had it in the back of my truck. I had customers that were leaving 5-star reviews, and then I had customers that were working with me when I had the open trailer and leaving 5-star reviews. Now I definitely do feel a lot more professional when I pull up and I've got this nice brand new enclosed trailer with everything in it, but I will feel even more professional when everything is set up the way that I want it, and I can pull up, open the doors, pull everything out, and I get started like that, because that is my biggest issue from day one. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube of how to get quicker, how to finish details faster. Normally a detail takes me right around 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the condition of the vehicle. I had 2 yesterday that both were parents' vehicles. Kids left a very big mess in the back of both vehicles, and I started those jobs at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I did not finish until 6 in the afternoon. It took me 7 hours to do 2 vehicles, which I was not happy about, and I absolutely got my butt whooped. And so if I can cut down on time, have an air compressor with the Tornador, which I have, I just not able to use it because the trailer's not set up for it yet. That will definitely help with getting a lot of the stuff out of carpets. But being more professional, having everything set up for ease of use is going to cut down on time a lot. And I have not been able to do that working out of the bed of my truck and working out of the little trailer. Now, if those would have been permanent setups, I could have worked around it to make it more permanent and to make it more efficient. But I knew those were not permanent setups. This was the end goal, and I stayed true to that. I've been in business since August. It is now March, and we got our enclosed trailer. And hopefully, in about the next 2 weeks, it will be set up to, I'd say, 80% of what I want it to be. The other 20% is going to come with recouping some money, because to be transparent with you guys, the trailer and a lot of the things I've bought to go in the trailer have cost me about 10 grand in the last month. And that's a lot of money to spend at once. So I'm going to wait until I can, make some of that money back and reinvest it back into the business and better chemicals, bigger product containers. Instead of buying gallon jugs, buy 5 gallons, things like that. Get better sprayers, better foamers. I just got my new MTM foam cannons. I got 2 of them, so I'm very pumped about that. But to fill you guys in, like I said, this is part 2 of the trailer. I'm gonna get this back wall finished up tonight, and then probably tomorrow we will start the section that's going to go over top the water tank. And what that's going to do is going to allow me, instead of having this stuff sitting on the water tank for the time being, I could have it setting up on top of there. Wall is up, and the top, which no one will ever see, but I know it's there, had a little mishap, so it's a little uneven. I had to cut it with Sawzall because if you guys saw, I really fought to get this thing in. I was not about to fight taking it out, putting it back in, but I was stupid and I measured from the top of the black beam, because I thought I was going to go all the way up to the roof, but I didn't realize that the black beam is directly above where it was going. So I measured to the top of the roof, and I should have measured to the bottom of the beam, and it would have fit perfectly fine. But you live and you learn. I got to touch up a little bit with some black paint because Sawzall blade went across it and kind of scuffed it up a little bit. So to prevent that from rusting, I'll hit it with some black paint. But our secondary wall is up. Now the back is officially walled off. I'll take you guys around to the side door to show you what it looks like from the other side, which is a wall, which GoPro doesn't do a great job at low light, but there's a little bit of light peeking through. That's not the end of the world. Like I said, if you're looking at it from the back, you're not going to be able to tell, not until you get right up to it, and customers are not going to be walking right up to it. So from back here, it just looks like a wall. And I will be getting, forget what it's called, but the plastic whiteboard, I will be gluing that on there. But that will be in the future because it's 50 bucks a panel, and I need at least 2 panels for now. And I don't want to spend another 100 bucks right now. So this will be fine for the time being. And then we'll do that, be a nice clean white surface. I'll paint right here white and right here white, and it'll look perfect. But we got our wall up, and that is great because now I can finish screwing this in, run our support beam across, which I will actually mount up to this so it'll close that gap. You won't even be able to see it, but we'll run it all the way across, screw this into that, and this will be in place. See how this flexes? I think once we put that beam here, it'll be like this one where it just has a little flex, but if it still flexes too much, I'll just run a beam down the center and we will be all good. I have plenty of wood, but we only got 1 sheet of this left, and I think what I'm going to do is try and cut it in half if I can and save a little bit of it. If not, I can always buy more. It's like 10 bucks a sheet. But I'm gonna run inside. My daughter is awake because that was very loud, but run inside, feed her. I will pick you guys up tomorrow when we start mounting our reels. Well, it has been a couple days since I last picked you guys up. We've been working out of the trailer. As you can see, it's pretty dirty in here, but look at that. There's a wall up and there's an air compressor. We've got some hooks on the wall, got some things hanging up. So I haven't been able to pick up a actual power cord reel yet. So we've just been using this one right here. But we've got our clean rags, dirty rags, our box of chemicals. We've got a hook with our air compressor line on it. We've got our air compressor up over here. Generator, I have to keep it like that because it's got a carbon monoxide detector on it, and if it runs inside the trailer, it shuts itself off within 10 seconds. But here very soon I will get the shelf mounted up right here to get the pressure washer mounted over on that side, the air compressor mounted up next to it, and then I'll have a place to store the vacuum for the time being. The generators probably don't have to stay like that. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, I was really thinking about it last night. The generator does fit right here, so what I think I'm going to do is pick up some exhaust piping meant for like a dryer and route it through that wall right there and have the generator facing like this. That way the exhaust just vents right out the back. I can have it out of this walkway right here, and I can have all my lines ran up the wall and mounted on top of the shelf so we can power the pressure washer, the air compressor, the vacuum with the vacuum reel in the future, and then our lights. I've got lights ordered. They should be here sometime this week. And everything just be organized right there. I'm slowly chipping away at it. But once we get that all situated, the next thing I'm going to buy is going to be a storage cabinet to store all these chemicals, all the extra spray bottles and stuff like that. Store all of that in the cabinet. And then I think for this area right here, instead of just storing, you know, stuff like the ladder and the canopy and stuff like that, I think I'm going to build a little table right here. And be able to just have like a little workbench in here if I need to come in here and sit down if I get too hot at a job or whatever, because I'm gonna mount a fan probably like right up over in this area and be able to come in here and sit down, drink some water, catch my breath, because it is Florida, and I mean, we're in the beginning of April. I think today's April 5th. And it's like mid 90s already out. So come June, July, August, the hottest months of the year, it's going to be well over 100 degrees, and if I get too hot or whatever on a job and I need to just sit down, catch my breath, come in here, sit down, do whatever. This will also give me a little bit of a work area to fill bottles and stuff like that. But it would probably just be from this corner to this corner, and then right here I can mount the ladder up, or I mean I could mount it in between the storage cabinet, because the storage cabinet's probably going to go from about here, probably right in here somewhere. So I'd have this little bit of an area, because we're going to have the shelf right here, so probably store the ladder right here, and the step ladder and the canopy can all go right there, bungee cord it around so it doesn't fall over. But let me stop rambling on about the inside of the trailer. I'm just got a lot of ideas. I want to pour them out to you guys, but I'll show you guys the back. Not a whole lot has changed back there, but I will go ahead and show it to you. So back here, we've got our air compressor reel mounted up, our pressure washer reel, we've got our Tornador gun. That thing is amazing. It helps so much with interiors. I had heard so many people say how great it was, and I had just never used it. And I do have to say, it is absolutely amazing. But for now, we've got the vacuum back here, the 2 buckets, my pump sprayer that I just keep a degreaser in, diluted 1 to 10. I just use that to clean tires, fender wells, door jams, bugs and stuff like that off vehicles. It's kind of just like a pre-soak, and then I also use it on floor mats, rubber floor mats. But my goal is to eventually not have this back here, and then have a like little area over here to the side where I can set the buckets down. But the exhaust for the generator, I'm thinking somewhere right over there. That way it can just vent out the back. It's not gonna hurt anything back here. It's not like it gets hot enough to actually, you know, melt the wood or burn the wood or anything like that. But yeah, this is the back. Made a little bit of progress. Very happy with it. This thing was a pain in the butt to get mounted with how heavy it is. I've got 2 big bolts running through the stud on the back, and then I've got these 2 anchor bolts on the other side. But it has all sped up my process so much. But if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. I know I really didn't show too much, but just trying to get everything done and get it ready. Because once we get this fully functioning, because I mean, it's already sped up my details so much. I did a truck 2 days ago that before definitely would have taken me like 4 hours, and I was able to knock it out in just under 3 hours. So I know once we get more set up, it'll definitely help a lot. But if you guys enjoyed this, please drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button. Day in the life vlogs coming very, very soon. And I got a little goal for you guys. If we can hit 100 subscribers, that's not hard at all. I think we're at like 30 something. If we can hit 100 subscribers, I'm gonna do a free detail for someone, just surprise them with a free detail. And I know a lot of you guys like ASMR stuff, so let me know down below if you guys would be interested in some ASMR style videos where we just go in and do some crazy deep details. Thinking something like, you guys know, with people mowing lawns and doing pressure washing where they find like a disaster yard or a disaster driveway. I've got some ideas with finding like a disaster vehicle for someone that just hasn't been able to get it cleaned or hasn't been able to take care of it, has some kids or has some stuff going on, and just surprising them and doing a full detail on it. And I think that'd be something cool. Show you guys the ASMR behind it, but let's hit 100 subscribers first, and if that sounds like something you guys would be interested in, we can go from there. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.